Hello guys, girls and everything in between, welcome back. So today I'm going to be doing a video on male grooming. Male grooming. Essentially I want to be using makeup today to tailor and to complete without looking like I've got makeup on. That's essentially the bare bones of it. So whether you're male presenting, whether you're, transmasculine, anything, whatever, this might be useful for you. So I think the first thing I want to be covering is moisturizer. So I'm going to be using the Essential Oil Stick by MAC, just because it's something that's really quite lightweight. I'm going to be trying my best to be using my fingers for this entire thing, just purely for ease, especially people who may not be familiar with makeup. This is something that I don't want to overcomplicate. Bit of moisturizer to start off with. So I'm using this little stick. I'm going to be waving that around, and I'm just going to polish and buff that. Now, guys, make sure that you're putting that moisturizer underneath your eyes as well, because that's the kind of area that tends to show excessively because it doesn't produce a lot of oil around that area. So if you can hydrate that, that will actually smooth and refine and really make sure that the base looks nice and even. All right, so now we've done a little bit of that. What we're going to be doing is I'm going to be going in with Face and Body by MAC. Now, the reason why I want to use this foundation is because it is very watery. Hear that? It's buildable with a special ingredient called a film former. Now, a film former, when you rub it, it gets thicker, so we can really control the coverage in this. So I'm going to be taking just a tiny little bit, about that much, and I'm going to give it a little rub between my fingers. Now, this actual foundation is better to use without any kind of brush or anything. I find it better with your fingers. So I'm going to knock that on, and I'm using nice friction, not trying to beat my face to a pulp, but just sort of waving it around and focusing on any areas that get a little bit red, corner of the nose. I can always go back and do another little wave, so I might take a little extra more and a little rub, and I'm going to take that under the eyes, right up to the lashes there, working it down to the edge of the facial hair and just sort of feathering it in, making sure you're getting the chin, and if there's any exposed skin there, because you don't want to have like clear, even skin and then these little red dots over here. It looks quite crazy. Okay, so the next step is to add consistency to the hair. So I'm going to be using this little brow tint by Australis Cosmetics. I find these are quite good because it's essentially like a little mascara. It's got a little comb on it. So using this little comb, see what I mean? I'm going to take a little bit of this colour and I'm just going to pull it through my brows to start off with. Just a light little coat of that. And I'm just doing nice gentle strokes, and I'm trying to not put too much pressure down because I don't want this stuff to touch the skin. I just want it to tint the hair. Now I'm going to do that same process, but this time with my beard. So what I do, if you want to go for something that has that really beautiful invisible look, but adding a bit of consistency, you want to be going for any of the gaps in your beard. So I am now going to put a little bit more pressure on and just press that ever so slightly through the skin, into the skin, not through the skin, because that's way too hard, obviously. But just pressing really gently, and then just flicking nice. You can go back against if you're really struggling to get the colour on like I am, and then I flick back downwards just to make sure the hair sits consistently. So look at that side versus that side. So you can see that's adding more consistency, but it shouldn't look too over the top. Now adding a little tiny bit on my mustache, and especially if you go for one that's waterproof, this stuff you can rub, you can touch, you can sweat in, it doesn't matter, it will not move. And to finish off, what I'm going to do is use the same product. I'm actually going to just take the tiniest little flick into my lashes. Think about it like you're combing your hair. You know, if you don't comb your hair before you leave, you're going to look a bit messy and a bit underdone. So think of the same thing with your lashes. You don't want to make them really dark and full. You just want to add a little bit more evenness, a little more direction. Now, to finish off, you might want to use powder. I find because the Face and Body is a waterproof product, I'm not too bothered about trying to dry it out too much. However, keeping it matte will make it last a little bit longer and make it a little bit smoother. So I'm going to be using a little touch of Fix Plus Matte from MAC Cosmetics. This one has a cornstarch in it, so when you give that a little rattle and then spray it on your face, like that, give it a fan down so it dries. That cornstarch will mattify, but it won't look like you're wearing powder. So there you have it, guys, easy as. So let me know in the comments down below, what do you think? Have you got any tips of your own that I haven't mentioned about male grooming? Because I'd love to hear, and I'm sure other people would as well. And until my next video, I will talk to you all very soon. See ya!